laying out an economic roadmap. The Trump administration will release its comprehensive report on the economy later today. It is expected to include analysis on both fiscal and monetary policy, as well as the potential impact of those policies on productivity, on consumer spending, and on inflation. The president's chairman of economic advisors, Kevin Hassett, compiled the report. It is scheduled to discuss it. He's scheduled to discuss it with the president later this morning. And joining me ahead of all of that is the Treasury Department's Undersecretary for International Affairs, David Malpass. David, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Hello, Maria. How are you?
Good. Let's talk about what's most important from this report. What should we expect?
Well, it's packed with growth policies. You know, I don't want to get ahead of the president or Kevin, but it's the report that will go to Congress, and it lays out how you grow, how much you can grow. It's got 700 pages. It's been a tremendous piece of work. It talks about small businesses and about the need for higher median income. You know, one of the things that hurt the U.S. over the last several years, 10 years, was the decline in median income. That means the middle of the economy wasn't doing well. And so one of the focus in the report is how do you get that higher through better growth policies?
Well, I'm really glad you mentioned that, because it is all about growth, David, and I know that, and I know that you've worked on this for a long time. But some of these expectations are a bit rosy. I mean, when you look at the budget and even the spending plan, we had Paul Ryan on the show last week, and I asked him the same question. In the budget, there are expectations of 3% growth for 10 years out, David. I mean, what if we have a recession? What if we don't have 3% growth every year? Can you really count on growth eating into some of the spending and the deficits that we're talking about when you got lots of rosy predictions in that report, don't you?
You know that you won't know every year ahead of time what the growth rate is going to be. But if you put in good policies, and let's think through what those are. There's been tax reform, there's regulatory reform, there's energy reform. These are really powerful, and so they change the structure of the economy. The goal here is to have more people working in more businesses, and that creates the diversification that can give you a higher average growth rate. Remember, we used to grow faster as a nation. It's only this last decade where there's been this slow growth that's been such a problem. So if you can create better policies, you can get the faster growth. I don't think it's rosy to think about the U.S. doing well finally again.
No, I don't think it. I think it's wonderful to have expectations of growth. I'm just wondering how realistic they are, given the fact that the typical recovery, how long does the typical recovery last, David? 8 years? What are we in? Are we in year 9 right now?
Yeah, but we are, but it wasn't much of a recovery. One of the reasons this can go on is because the policies are improving.
Yes,
that's the key
that
thing.
I agree with. That policies are definitely improving. When you look at tax reform and the rollback in regulation, that's big. And yet the Democrats don't see it, right? I mean, they are attacking the GOP tax code overhaul every day. Despite the growing support of the new law, we just saw Americans, a majority of Americans say, yeah, we like this tax plan. And then, of course, there's House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. Here's what she said about the bill just yesterday, David. Watch this.
If what you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future, you're doing a grave disservice to our country. Some patriots. So when they say, why are we talking about this? We're not talking about this for political reasons. I wish this weren't even necessary. I wish we could have come together to do a fair tax bill.
She's not talking about that to be political, David, she says. She said it was crumbs. The bonuses are crumbs, and now it's unpatriotic. Your thoughts?
Well, she didn't say every Democrat voted against the bill, and so they've got a stake in that. I think when she talked about investment there was a mix-up, because the investment that's needed in order to create jobs is in the private sector. It sounded to me like she was talking about bigger government as a way to get ahead, and we know from history that that's not the way forward. The way forward is to allow businesses to keep some of their money, and they invest it in machines, they hire workers, and they go forward. I think that needs to be kind of the redirection that the nation needs. And that shows up both in the economic report of the president that will be coming out, but also in the budget. You know, a critical part of the budget for the next year is peace through strength. There had to be a way to reverse the weakness that had been in national security. And so that's a big part of what's going to draw investment into the United States, help businesses invest in their own future.
Yeah, I understand.